1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, is it this guy?
Oh my God, he's got a gun!
Relax, it's a lighter.
Why didn't you refill your bird feeder, huh?
Yeah, who's a bird got to blow to get some seed around here?
What's there?
Bojack Horseman has received a lot of buzz by being an adult-focused animated comedy, as well as being one of Netflix's flagship shows thanks to it being the first animated show aimed at adults that it created. In fact, it was one of the very earliest animated shows created especially for Netflix. The show debuted on Netflix in August of 2014 and is just about to release its 4th season, so it's got a lot of steam behind it at the moment. The show was created by Raphael Bob Waxberg and is executive produced by Will Arnett and Aaron Paul, both of which star in the show too. The show actually struggled to find its feet at first. The debut season was panned by critics, receiving a 56% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a 59 out of 100 on Metacritic. The following 2 seasons have been a complete turnaround though. Both seasons 2 and 3 are 100% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes and have a 90 and 89 on Metacritic respectively. Clearly Bojack Horseman ends up finding its feet, but can the first season really be as bad as the critics have made it out to be? After watching all 12 episodes of Bojack Horseman's first season, it's easy to see why it received middling reviews. The first thing that stuck out to me about the show was the art style. I'm not a fan of the style that they went with, as it makes some of the characters look really ugly. The actual animation itself isn't bad, it's just the style that I didn't like, and I never warmed up to it even after watching 12, 25-minute episodes. It always gave me the feeling of looking at a one-person webcomic, which may be the byproduct of Lisa Hannawalt's involvement with the show. Hannawalt worked with Bob Waxberg on the webcomic Tip Me Over, Pour Me Out, and you can see a few similarities in the styles. Hannawalt serves as the production designer on the show, so it makes sense that her style would be imprinted on the show. While I personally didn't like the art style, it's not like it's offensively bad or even distracting from the other parts of the show, so I can't knock the overall product too much because of it. The premise of the show, for those who are unaware, is that Bojack is an anthropomorphic horse who used to be a star on a very popular sitcom, but is now washed up and clinging to his past success. Many of the characters on the show are animals, and they just live alongside humans like it's nothing out of the norm, which creates a lot of funny moments. The voice cast in Bojack Horseman is also extremely star-studded. In the recurring cast, you have names like Will Arnett, Aaron Paul, and Alison Brie, while the show brings in guests like Patton Oswalt, J.K. Simmons, Keith Olbermann, Aisha Tyler, Chris Parnell, Stephen Colbert, and Naomi Watts. It's not only filled with stars, but they all put in great performances, and none of the guests are distracting with their star power. In fact, many times it took me until the end credits were rolling for me to realise that somebody had been a guest in the episode. Everything sounds pretty good so far, but you can see why the show was panned while watching the first few episodes. I was not a fan of the first episode at all, and the show really takes several episodes to get up and running. If you read a lot of the critique online of the first season, it's mostly about the first 6 episodes, with the last 6 episodes being almost universally praised. Personally, I didn't think all of the first 6 episodes were bad, but the first few are kinda rough and tough to get through. After those episodes though, the show is amazing and was a joy to binge watch. There's quite a lot of depth to the story here, and I feel Bojack is a unique show in that it's an adult animated comedy that has a continuous story running throughout the entire season. Outside of Archer, there's not really many animated adult comedies that are doing this, and Archer is more focused on action, whereas this is more down to earth. The plot thread that links the episodes is that Bojack is having a biography written about him by Diane, and this pretty basic plot point works to tie almost everything that happens together. As I mentioned earlier, the show has depth, and a lot of that stems from Bojack's character. Unlike most adult comedies where characters are static and never change, Bojack is fluid as a person. He grows and changes, falls down, gets back up, and overall, he just feels human. He doesn't feel like a cartoon character, but instead feels like a fully fleshed out and thought out person. If you watch the first episode and then the last episode, it's clear as day that Bojack has changed throughout the season, and knowing that there are 3 whole more seasons for me to get into is extremely exciting, as I want to see how everybody develops. I also have to applaud the team on how they have amazing continuity between episodes. Take for example something simple, like the episode where one of Bojack's former co-stars burns his ottoman. This has no importance to the plot and never needs to be mentioned again, yet throughout all the remaining episodes the burned ottoman is present. Usually you would see a show just replace this or forget about it because it's not important to anything, so seeing small details like this was really nice. Similarly, there are plot threads that linger in the background and then roar back into the picture later when characters have more information, which I also enjoyed. It's nice to see plot threads not have to be solely focused on and then wrapped up before moving on to something new, and it actually made the show feel more like something out of real life. Something I haven't mentioned yet is the actual comedy aspect of the show. Once the writing on Bojack Horseman finds its feet, it's damn hilarious. Some of the very funniest moments of the season were when the incompetent paparazzi are trying to blackmail Bojack. They are so terrible at trying to extort money from Bojack, and they are foiled by the most basic things. Every single time they randomly popped up, I was always left laughing, and I wonder if they'll persist with these characters in future seasons. I also would be crazy if I didn't mention the episode where Bojack and co are doing every drug possible in an attempt to write Bojack's biography themselves. Everything from the point where they start doing drugs until the end of the episode is freaking hilarious, and I honestly don't think I stopped laughing during it.
Oh my god.
I think you have a serious drug problem.
The only drug I need is horse.
What is happening? Guys, what are you doing? No! No! Why are you? This is a very bad idea. Oh my god, my arm. You got my arm. I'm in it now. Oh god, no! I'm a part of it.
Critics are very correct when they say the first half of the season is a little disappointing. I didn't think as many episodes in the first half were as bad as the critics did, but it's definitely nowhere near as good as the second half, which is all pure gold. The show has incredible depth, tells a great story with fleshed out characters, and to top it all off, it has so many talented people as part of the voice cast. I would definitely recommend Bojack Horseman to everybody, as long as you have the willpower to sit through some weaker episodes up front. For those that do sit through those episodes, which aren't exactly terrible, they'll find an incredible show.